Why don't we take a look here at the instant replay, Todd? Thanks so much, John. So clearly the player is trying to grab the Regent's authority, and oh my goodness, the Moth Rider Patrol as it went on the bottom. There is clearly something fishy going on. Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Tuesday, February 15th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. As we get into the content here, don't forget that we'd like to give a special shout out to each of those in the subscriber community for choosing to spend a part of your day here with me. And for those of you that are not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that red subscribe button attached to this video. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost you a dime, and you'll then have access to the most consistent, high-quality MTG Limited content on YouTube. And on that note, we are here in our second Kamigawa Neon Dynasty draft, taking a look at what we've got pack one, pick one. We've got some good options. So we had great success with a Greater Tanuki deck yesterday. I really like this card. Fits really well in green-white. It's just overall very good. Got Spirited Companion as well. Network Disruptor is probably one of the best blue commons to kind of work with the blue-black ninjas thing. Not a fan of any of the uncommons, except maybe Invigorating Hot Spring. That is a pretty good one. And there's also Thousand Face Shadow, which we're running out of time here. I think we'll just take the rare. I'll go over it here in a second when the time runs out. So it's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer, and then it has upside to put ninjutsu in later in the game if you want to, and create a copy of something else that's also tapped and attacking, which is, it's okay. It's not the best card in the world. Might have wanted Invigorating Hot Spring, but at the end of the day, that one is a gold card early. This is kind of a gold card and that wants to be in blue-black, so difficult first pick, but early in the format, it's good to just play with the rares and see how they work out. I really like Michiko's Reign of Truth. Obviously, yesterday's deck was built basically around it and did very well. I don't think we have to put a ton of stock into this being blue-black and going right into blue-black. I think we just can kind of take the best card in this pack. The Dockside Chef is really good. There's also Michiko's Reign of Truth, and I think I want the Reign of Truth over Dockside Chef. It's a 1-mana 1/2. You can sacrifice an artifact or creature to draw a card. Banishing Slash is also a decent removal spell, but I think Reign of Truth has a really, really high upside. So I'm going to take that. And then we move to not a lot of black. Nezumi Blade Blaster, 3-mana 3/2, sometimes had Death Touch and or Menace, which is okay. Sky Swimmer Koi, 4-mana 3/3 flyer that can loot when artifacts ETB. That's pretty good. Let's see what else we've got. Flame Discharge is the only, there is Steelbreaker, but it's one of the only red cards in the pack, and it's a pretty good removal spell. So I think we're between Sky Swimmer Koi and Flame Discharge. It's fine to end up in kind of a blue-white artifact enchantment kind of thing, but I think I'm actually going to take the Flame Discharge. I don't think we're married to either of these picks. These are not good enough that we're like bombs holding on for dear life so far. So I think I just want to take what I think is the best card in this pack in Flame Discharge and kind of feel out what's happening here. So here is an interesting decision. So we've got basically a decision between Generous Visitor and Michiko's Reign of Truth. So we have one of these already, and Generous Visitor is a great uncommon payoff for green-white. Lethal Exploit's fine. Network Disruptor's pretty good, but I think a pick 4 Generous Visitor is a kind of a sign. It's a 1-mana 1/1. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. I know we're going to be passing this Reign of Truth here, which could send a signal, but maybe we get to get Bamboo Grove Archer back. This pack is pretty good. People are going to take Network Disruptor, Scrounger, Lethal Exploit, Truth. I mean, maybe we can get lucky and get the Archer back. I know this is our 4th color and 4 picks, but this is going to instantly basically be our best card here. So, taking a look at this pack, Hacker is good. It's a 2-mana 2/1. And you can also ninjutsu it in to draw a card on the hit, and you don't even have to discard it the first time it enters. On the green-white path, which I think contain our two best cards, are Era of Enlightenment, which I do like. And that's pretty much it. Favor of Jukai is a fringe playable in that deck. I think I'll take Era of Enlightenment here. We don't have any black to go with kind of a blue-black ninja kind of theme. This is Reality High 7 mana kind of, draw to look at the top 7. If you have artifacts, a lot of artifacts in your deck. But we're going to go ahead and take the enchantment here. And then we see Inkai's Infiltrator, good for ninjas. We see Okiba Reckoner Raid, just a good common in general. 1 mana, basically drains for 2 and gives you 2/2 menace. Pretty good. Inkai's Infiltrator is a 2 mana 1/2, but the main thing is it has flying, so you can ninjutsu off of this quite easily. Explosive Entry is probably a main deckable card in this format. 2 mana, destroy an artifact, and put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. But there's a Master's Rebuke here, and I think Master's Rebuke is arguably the best card in this pack. 2 mana, bite, deals damage. It's between that and Reckoner Raid, but I think we're leaning a little bit green-white here. Yeah, so then we see Season of Renewal and Era of Enlightenment again. I don't mean to lean down green-white 2 drafts in a row to start this format. I've tried to stay open this draft a little bit more. We started with 4 different colors and 4 cards, but I do think green-white is actually open in this seat. The best card in this pack is Era of Enlightenment by a good bit, I think. Then there's Aki Emberkeeper. All the other cards are just basically fringe playable cards. So Era of Enlightenment is the only one I'm pretty excited to put in my deck here. So there's a red-white dual land if we wanted to maybe think about splashing Flame Discharge in a green-white deck. There's Ninja's Kunai, which has actually been pretty good. I haven't played with it yet, but from what I've seen, it's basically 3 mana, deal 3 to any target. You do have to tap a creature to do that, but you can do that in installment plans as well. There's also Grafted Growth here. And in the spirit of enchantments, I think I'm going to take Grafted Growth, but I would not mind playing a kunai or 2 if we run a little bit low on removal. So I'm going to take the Grafted Growth, mainly to cut green and white here. So a really late Network Disruptor and a Dokuchi Shadow Walker. So ninjas could be open at this seat, but there is a Repel the Vile, which I've liked a lot, and a Jukai Trainee if we're struggling in the 2-drop slot. But I'm going to take Repel the Vile. This has been a very good removal spell. 4 mana, deal with the biggest creature on the board. And sometimes you get to exile a Saga before it gets Chapter 2, exile the enchantment creature that it flips into. It just has a lot of targets in this format. So we'll take that. And then we see what I think is the best card in this pack in Mothrider Patrol. I think green-white is its worst deck, but it's still fine. As far as the rest of the cards, there's some blue value, Counterspell, draw some cards in Mnemonic Sphere, Peerless Samurai for red-white, but we'll go ahead and take the Mothrider Patrol here. And now we see Favor of Jukai, which did come back. It's a card we can play, but it's probably going to be first on the chopping block if we get above playables. Papercraft Decoy, Thundersteel Colossus, not really for us. I think we'll just cut white here. Not really a card I'm looking to play in many decks in this format. I'm going to do something weird here and actually just take the land so that we can send black and blue signals to our left so they can stay out of green and white if they're still trying to decide about signals. We'll take Commune, but don't want to play it. And then we'll take the land. All right, so we're looking to be green-white, and we will see if we can secure that here in pack 2. Best cards in this pack, Voltage Surge, 1 mana, deal 2, deals 4 sometimes if you sacrifice an artifact. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is pretty good. 3 mana, 2/2, creates a treasure when it attacks. You can kind of rummage twice, and then you get a 2/2 that can create a copy that exiles at the beginning of the end step. Is pretty good. Okiba Salvage is a reanimate card. Reinforced Ronin is only for basically heavy artifact decks. Colossal Sky Turtle's a big old fat ramp target. For us, I think there's Tales of Master Shishiro, which I do really like. There's also another Repel the Vile, and maybe a Kami and a Cultivation. So we have some options for things to come back here between these three. But I'm going to take Tales of Master Shishiro. It's been very good. Almost comparable to Dormant Grove of the previous set, if you believe it. Alright, love to see Sunblade Samurai here. This is one of my favorite commons in the format. Between this and the Tanuki, we didn't get any of these in yesterday's draft. And I think if we can get like one of these and one Tanuki, or two of one and one of the other, I think it goes really well as the top end in this kind of deck. Other notable cards, there's Heir of the Ancient Fang, which is not really for us. There's Twisted Embrace, which is a good removal spell. 2 black for an aura. You enchant a creature and it kills another creature and gives it +1/+1. Also modifies it. Does a lot of things in the format. Awakened Awareness, not really a great card. Secluded Courtyard, creature type, and then you can add 1 mana of any color for those creature types. I don't think that's going to be for us. It's really for like ninjas, warriors, samurais kind of things. So we'll take the creature and enchantment in Sunblade Samurai. So there's Rugged Highlands again if we want to think about a splash. There's Jukai Trainee, Regent's Authority. That's about it. I mean, for us, I think we're pretty heavy down green-white at this point. Assassin's Ink is probably the best card in this pack. Could be as cheap as 2 mana, destroy target creature. Modern Age is really good. Synthesize is good in specific decks. But how's our curve looking? Looking okay, to be honest. I think I'm actually going to take the Rugged Highlands, because these aren't cards I'm really going to miss in this deck. And there's a chance we could splash a good removal spell if we don't find it for ourselves. And here we go. So now we get past Jukai Naturalist pick 4, which means I think we might be the only green-white drafter at this table. So I think we can take the green-white gold uncommon. Green-white for a 2/2 lifelink. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. There's also Befriending the Moths. Would not mind picking up a copy of this if it can wheel. I don't know if it'll wheel, but it might. And then Bearer of Memory, if this comes back, I think I'd play it, but not the premium 3-drop we want for this deck. We want some lifelinkers, some Golden Tail Disciples. But we'll take Jukai Naturalist here. Then we see another Grafted Growth, a Mothrider Patrol, and a Combat Trick. I think it's between Grafted Growth and Mothrider Patrol. We're currently at 8 enchantments, and we're going to end up higher than that anyway. So I think we could take Mothrider Patrol. Things like Michiko's Reign of Truth and Generous Visitor. Tails. These are all great things with Mothrider Patrol. So I think we'll take one here. We'll see if we want to play even 1 or 2. The only card for us is Fang of Shigeki, 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. So I think we'll take that. As far as the ninja deck goes, there's a Moonsnare Specialist, which is very good. 4 mana 2/2, can ninjutsu for 2 and a blue, and then when it enters the battlefield, you bounce a creature. There's another Moon Circuit Hacker, which is another good card for ninjas. And then Okiba Reckoner Raid, I mentioned. Just a 1 mana 2/2 Menace, drains for 2. I mean, really good value. I know you get it over installments, but still really good. But we'll take the 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch Enchantment Creature. And here's an Intercessor's Arrest. Pick 7. So here's 3 mana, and then it just pacifies a creature. It arrests the creature. You know, can't block, can't attack, can't crew, can't activate abilities. And it's an enchantment. So it's great for this deck. This is something we didn't see in yesterday's video, but happy to have it here. There's another Mothrider Patrol, an Heir of the Ancient Fang. But we are happy to take Intercessor's Arrest here. So I think Ninjas is pretty open here. Another Specialist. Pick 8. It's pretty good, but we'll take a 3rd Mothrider Patrol. We don't really want when we were young. Just a 4 mana +2/+2 to 2 creatures, and then you sometimes get lifelink. This deck probably won't be getting lifelink a lot, so we're just going to take a Mothrider Patrol. I don't know if we're going to play 3 of these, but we will see. Wow, all the uncommons left in this pack here. Nobody in green-blue. I think we'll take a second Repel the Vial. I don't mind playing two, especially if we run low on removal. We do have Master's Rebuke, Intercessor's Arrest, and one Repel the Vial. So we could take the second one here and see how that goes. Don't think any of this is for us. I think we'll just take the land. Don't think we'll play it, but I'd like to send blue and red signals onward. Regent's Authority could be a combat trick if we want it. I mean, it's best in this deck, but not really a card I'm looking to run if I can avoid it. None of this matters. And again, I'm actually going to take the land here to send red and blue signals. Same thing, taking the land. I'll take the land because none of those cards matter for our deck. And if someone's still trying to read signals, we'll pass as many of them as we can. All right, can we get lucky in pack 3? So far, not really. It's a pretty good pack, to be honest, though. Besides You Who Endures, it's basically free for this deck, and I actually think this is a good enough card for the deck. So basically, it's a land that taps for green. It's free, or you can pay 1 and a green to basically destroy target artifact or enchantment. You can ignore the non-basic land because that's not really going to come up. And I don't even think we have any legendary creatures. So it's going to be 1 and a green, destroy artifact or enchantment. And in this deck, we'll be able to hit lots of things. Like here's an enchantment, for example. So this is going to be great. Orochi Merge Keeper is for certain decks. I'd probably play a copy of it in this deck, but I don't think it would be great. So who knows? All right, now we see Spirited Companion, which is great. Would love to have a copy of Spirited Companion. There's also Fall of Lord Kanda. Another good removal spell. Flips into a defender that when it dies, draw a card. 3 mana, exile target creature with mana value 4 or greater. Second chapter does nothing. And third chapter flips into an enchantment 1/3 defender. When it dies, draw a card. I think that's a little bit better than Spirited Companion as much as I do like this card. So we'll take Fall of Lord Kanda here. And then we see, for us, we see Season of Renewal. Can 3 mana instant return target creature and or enchantment, which means basically 2 creatures because we're going to have a lot of enchantment creatures in this deck. And there's a 4th Mothrider Patrol. I don't think we're optimizing this deck, or the Mothrider Patrol in this particular deck. So I'm actually going to take the first copy of Season of Renewal here. And then there is Sunblade Samurai, number 2, versus Michiko's Reign of Truth, number 2. This is a difficult one. I think with 3 Mothrider Patrols, Reign of Truth, number 2 could be very good. But I really, really would like a Samurai, but this is a difficult decision here. I'm not sure. I think we're going to be winning this game through, honestly, probably Mothrider Patrols being buffed up. And then removing other problem creatures. And I think this is going to be a way that we can do that. Just a random 4/4 Vigilance isn't really going to be the thing that gets us across the line here. So now we see Born to Drive. Enchant permanent, +1/+1 for each creature and or vehicle you control. You can channel it to get 2 pilots. Don't think that's really for us. We're a little low on creatures anyway. We only have 7, which is not great. Then there's Dragonfly Suit. There's another Season of Renewal. I guess I'll take the other Season of Renewal, but I don't think I'll play it. We're looking for some more creatures here. And we find Bearer of Memory. 3 mana, 3/2, 6 mana, put a 1/1 counter on target enchantment creature. The ability is almost irrelevant. It's just basically a 3 mana, 3/2 enchantment creature, which is fine. Heir of the Ancient Fang, not really for us necessarily. So I think we'll take Bearer of Memory as just another enchantment and creature. So here's a Regent's Authority. There's also a Fade into Antiquity. I did not main deck this yesterday, but I honestly think you can in this format. It's got so many targets, and all of them are usually fine. I think I'm actually going to take Regent's Authority, though. you know, protecting some of our creatures if we need to try to push through that damage. Then we see nothing but blue and red, which is awkward. And I'm just going to take the uncommon just because none of this matters for us. Or it defaulted to that for some reason. So there we go. Take that uncommon. Ooh, the Merge Keeper came back. Wow. Not a lot of green drafters here. We're not really ramping towards much, but it's still just a good card. I mean, 2 mana 1/1 that just can ramp and sometimes get a counter on it or something. Ramp twice. Play Tails early. Get out an early Sunblade Samurai. Seems fine to me. I don't think we're going to have the lands necessary to splash a Flame Discharge. Let's see, Coinlink Stalker, 2 mana 2/1. Can deal combat damage and put a counter on things. How's our curve looking? I think we're okay. We don't really need to run that necessarily. So let's move these splash cards out. And then nothing here. Just take the Brute Suit. Doubt we're going to play it. None of this is for us either. So we basically have 23 right here because beside you is a land. So we'll have to see with just 9 creatures. Dragonfly Suit. Don't know if we'll be able to play that or not. And then Plains. All right. So I do think this deck is a decent bit worse than yesterday's green-white deck. But it has some things going for it. So we currently have 9 creatures and 13 enchantments. The only thing that even cares about us playing enchantments is the Generous Visitor and the Jukai Naturalist. Those are 2 good reasons. And Michiko's Reign of Truth. Forgot about that as well. Those are all very good reasons to keep our enchantment count high. I don't think we can really cut too many creatures, to be honest. Honestly, we can't really cut much. You know? Regent's Authority is a thing we could bring in. Coiling Stalker is a thing we can bring in. Dragonfly Suit we could bring in. Let's see if there's something I actively want to cut. I think I would like to cut another Season of Renewal. And I think I would like to cut a Grafted Growth because we're not really ramping to anything here. There is an argument to also playing 16 lands in this deck, which I think I actually want to do. We don't have any mana sinks. This is a mana sink, but I don't think we're going to be wanting to use it to tap. We're going to want to use it to attack. Yeah, there's no mana sinks here. Here's a mana sink, but that doesn't really count. So if we cut those 2 cards and we're down to 16 lands here, we need to add 3 more. So I think we might be able to add a Regent's Authority just to help protect some of our creatures. We did not get that Geothermal Kami back, unfortunately. We could play a Dragonfly Suit. We can use the patrols to crew it. It is a flyer that can help us get stuff in, get damage in. I don't love it, but guess we could also just play a Coiling Stalker as just a, you know, a 2 mana 3/2. We can ninjutsu with Moth Rider patrols, ideally, if we wanted to, or just a 2 mana 2/1 that trades. That's fine too. And then there's the Dragonfly Suit. Still leaves our enchantment count at 12. We could just play a second Regent's Authority over the Dragonfly Suit, but I think I'm willing to run it back like this. It's a little underpowered, but I think we can get off to some fast starts. And if our opponents struggle a little bit, we'll be able to get in there. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you think you would have ended up in the same deck here. And there, I think ninjas might have been open. And if you have a preference toward ninjas, I would not have faulted you for getting into ninjas. But I do think I navigated the draft in a way that kind of let me stay with what was open. And there wasn't a ton of really, really powerful cards that I needed to kind of jump ship for at any point. So I just kind of went with what was open at the seat. And I think I ended up in the correct deck here. So we will run this green-white deck back and see if it can't do as well as yesterday's. Don't think the deck is quite as good as yesterday's, but hopefully it can perform as well. All right, so we got that patrol, we got the dragonfly suit, removal. We'll keep it. Okay, so we're going to need a land here. We'll just play the Fang and then get in. Okay, there's our land. Now we can play Dragonfly Suit. Looks like they've got some sort of combat trick here. They have something they can channel, maybe? Okay, then we can play Dragonfly Suit, and the next turn we can crew that here and get in for 4. And if they just drop a creature and we draw a land, we can give this +3/+3 permanently. Runaway Trash Bot. Okay. I think we could just play Bearer of Memory here after crewing Dragonfly Suit. Don't think we need to arrest that necessarily. So why don't we crew this using the Fang. And then we can get in there for 4. And just play Bearer of Memory. And end the turn. So it's just a 3-mana 3/2 right now. It's really not going to act as much more than that, except the fact that it's an enchantment. Heiko Yamazaki. 4-mana 3/3 trample. Whenever Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, you may cast target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard this turn. Doesn't do anything right now. And there's Master's Rebuke. So we can kill anything as long as we have Fang here. So let's crew this. We can get in for 4 again. And then we could just hold up Master's Rebuke, I think. I don't think we need to arrest something here. And I'd almost rather get this down as the enchantment than the channel combat trick. So we'll hold up Master's Rebuke to use with Fang if we need to kill something, maybe end step. You're not going to do anything. Okay, so I don't really want to use Master's Rebuke right now because they have mana up. So we'll miss another land drop, which is awkward. But at least we have some pressure here still. So we'll crew again. They're probably going to remove Dragonfly Suit if I had to guess. I have to do something. Yeah, so here comes removal on Dragonfly Suit. Beside you who endures. Alright. Destroy target artifact. Yep, can't do anything about that. So that resolves. Yeah, I'll search my library. Why not? Cool, thanks for the land. And then we'll get in here. So we can give this +3/+3 at some point. But for now, I think we'll go Moth Rider Patrol and hold up Rebuke again. Bearer of Memory. Okay, that's all right. I don't think we need to use Master's Rebuke. I mean, we could use it and then arrest something and attack with everything, but that's still not even that great. Like, we could just hold it up. So, we could go for Jukai on one of these, but I'm suspicious of a kill spell, so I don't really want to do that. They are still getting priority, which means they have something. So let's get in with these two. And go to damage. And they're the ones that have to do something, so we can use this to save our creature at this point, or if they just tap out for like a Greater Tanuki or something, then we can put it on here and then put them to 1. Okay. They're not really doing much. Tails. Okay. Okay, so they're going to give that power and toughness now. They can't attack. Well, they can, but I don't think they will. So what we can do is we can rebuke something, and then we can arrest something, and then I think that should be lethal. Because if they block this, they're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should be lethal. So let's go ahead, target this to kill. We'll kill Heiko Yamazaki here. And then on our turn, we can Intercessor's Arrest on the Bearer. And then get in with everything here. And they're likely going to block the Bearer of Memory. There they go. And then we can give this +3/+3 for the victory. They didn't really do much that game, but Moth Rider Patrols for the win. On to Platinum. Alright, so we're up first. Oh, this hand's fine. Enchantment, enchantment, pump it, hit him for 3. Hit him for 3 again. Alright, don't want to see many more lands here. Because we are playing a little bit small ball. If they remove this, then we don't have a ton going for us. Armguard Familiar, alright. We'll target this here. We can use this as its channel. Guess we'll end the turn. This has ward 2. We could use this to kill it, but can't pay for the ward, so won't do that. Okay. Alright, so that's something we can kill. They do get to ramp. Let's see. So, yeah, next turn they'll discard a card and reanimate a 2-drop, and then they get a 3/4 vigilance that creates things. So yeah, we want to get rid of that. But let's let them get a land. Then we can channel this to destroy that. All right. So unfortunately, we're kind of already out of gas here. If they play anything of any decent size, we're in trouble. Don't need to block. Play another one, okay. Don't like seeing more planes, that's for sure. They're not getting any priority, so this will eat something. So we'll do that. They'll likely block Portrait, and then we can use Regent's Authority on it. And that's about all we got. Oh no, did they have a counterspell? They did get priority when we played this, so... Dragonfly Suit. Alright, Intercessor's Arrest. We can use it on the suit. That'll make this into a 4/4. Is that good enough? Probably gonna have to be, I think. They might have the counter spell here now. No? Okay, so we'll attack. Alright, so we're kind of relying on Portrait here. Surge Hacker Mech, which is going to kill our Portrait, which is not great. Okay, resolves. So this has Menace, which is not good. So let's just play our Samurai. And no need to attack. So it's a 4-mana 5/5 Menace, and it already did its damage here. Holy moly. Double Surge Hacker Mech? Yeah, okay. Now we'll take 5. Jukai Naturalist. Sure. And no attacks. Because we need to double block one of these. Crab is another problem. Alright, so, yep, that's what it looks like. We, playing too small ball here. 1 drops, 2 drops. They got to remove things with their 5/5 menaces, and then we kind of just lost it to that, didn't we? Oh my gosh. And they get to hit us for 10, and the next turn we died in Network Disruptor. So, kind of got owned that game, didn't we? Alright, so obviously need a green, but we do have a patrol, so I think we'll keep this. Any land lets us exile their 4-drop if they kind of get ahead of us. That's not really it. Okay, so they will be getting ahead of us. At least we can get another land here. Seven-Tail Mentor. Now this will tap for 2. So the fall can get rid of this, but that's not a great target. And honestly, I'm worried about something next turn. Like, they could drop a Tanuki Mario next turn because they could have 6 mana. So I think we just have to play Dragonfly Suit and then hold it back. Maybe threaten to trade with this. So here's 6 mana. Don't have any combat tricks, so do we want to trade Dragonfly Suit for Seven-Tail Mentor? Don't know if we do, because this might be our route to victory through the air and Dragonfly Suit. So we can pass and actually no blocks. They have Ninjutsu now, Coiling Stalker. Okay, so they're going to return that. And then they can replay it as well. Okay. Lots of sweet things going on in this format. They get to kind of do all these combos here. We'll miss another land drop. And then we can play Mothrider Patrol. I guess we can play Fall of Lord Konda and then use Repel the Vile for whatever they play off of all this mana that they have. So we'll play this Mothrider Patrol. We'll crew it here. And then we'll attack them for 4. And then we can play Fall and get rid of their 3/4, and then we still have a removal spell for something that's big. Like that? What does it have? Oh, hexproof. That's nice. Doesn't have reach. So we're going to have to hold this up to kill that, basically, is all we can do. We have 1, 2, 3 enchantments if we play Reign of Truth right now. No, we're just going to have to hope they attack with it. Which they don't really have to. Yeah, this does not have reach. So we'll get in for 4. And then end the turn. They could just hold it back and burn our mana to the ground. But we're just going to have to hope they attack. Oh, I don't even know what this does, but it can't be good. Look, gain 2 life, look at the top 3 cards, exile one of them face down with a hatchling counter, and then you can eventually cast one of them, basically. When this dies. Okay. So they're back to 12. Do they attack? Good. Alright. We will attempt to get rid of that. Hopefully they don't have the hexproof trick. If they do, I think we lose. Alright, good. We have a game. We're at 12, they're at 12. And we drew another card we can't cast. So let's go Reign of Truth here. We'll give it to this one. We can crew this here. And then technically next turn we have lethal. Oh no, they have Wanderer's Intervention for Dragonfly Suit, or Mothrider Patrol, I guess. Okay. So now we don't have lethal anymore, obviously. Which one are they going to kill? So there's a Wanderer's Intervention. They'll take 5 down to 7. Next turn this will only give +2/+2. So we'll be able to hit them for 4. But we are taking 5 this turn. So who knows? Holy moly. What did that even do? Target creature deals damage, so this one just dealt damage to everything. Oh, that's great. So I have to give it to a creature. Can I submit 0? No. That's wonderful. Here you go. You get it. Drew a forest, so at least there's that. I guess we're playing Jukai Naturalist and trading with Coiling Stalker. Guess that's what we have to do here. At least we drew that green. Getting owned by Spinning Wheel Kick, which is not even that good of a card, but here we are. Befriending the Moths, and I think that'll probably do it. So we're taking 6, and we can use Favor of Jukai next turn to give this +3/+3 in reach to gain us some more life. I think that's all we have to do. Okay. So we can play this here. Just gonna have to give it to this one. It's a 5/5. We can hit them for 8. Technically. I think we're going to have to use this on defense, and then next turn we can get in with some good creatures here. Because they're going to give it flying again. Now, I mean, I know we died in removal. If they have removal, we'll die this way. But if we attack, we gain 5 up to 8. They're going to hit us. There's also just a decent chance. Oh wait, did they just miss both times? I don't see any Hatchling counter cards. They might have just missed. So, I know we died to removal, but I don't think this is a plan for winning here. So, I think we have to pass the turn and then use Jukai Naturalist on the Coiling Stalker here. Because this also gives reach, and then we'll gain 5 life. So let's see if they attack. Well, they have to, basically. Good. So we will give it to the Naturalist, and then eat it. And that worked out nicely for us. Season of Growth, maybe? They're looking in their graveyard. Nope, alright. So we can give it now to Naturalist. We'll do this and play Fang so the portrait can get bigger. And now we can attack with both. Okay. I think they might have whiffed here. Did they, or did they get to cast something? Oh, no, it went into exile over here. That's where they went. Okay, well, at least we have Fang. I know this has Trample, but we do have Fang. They may not be able to attack with it because of that, so. Season of Renewal. Okay, okay. Not liking our position, to be honest. Gain 2 life. They did exile a card, so they do have multiple Hatchling counter cards. Okay, we will whiff with a land. We have 2 portraits, though. But we can't do anything. So, yeah. Go ahead. Alright. Yeah, that is something, I guess. Does keep something tapped down if we want it to. Still no attacks. Surge Hacker Mech. That will kill Mothrider Patrol. Geez, this card has been good. It's been very good. Regent's Authority. Not really gonna do it. We were really close there, but they top decked a couple cards that got them out of it, and we didn't. So the key moment in that game is just kind of when they were able to play the Tanuki off at Kami's Egg. It's a new format. It's a rare. I didn't know how this worked. Usually when you exile a card face down, it like kind of goes underneath it, and I thought they had whiffed, and I didn't think to even look in exile. So they're probably gonna get rid of Fang here, or one of our portraits, I guess. Okay, make the other one a 3/3. And at this point, I think it's pretty much all but over. Okay, so we're going to take 5, 6, 7 here, I guess. We do get to kill that, and then we're dead next turn, but we do gain some life. We'll get Regent's Authority on this, probably. So we'll block here. See what they put first. We'll gain some extra life. Keep around our portrait, even though now it's a 1/1. Alright. And no attacks. Take 2 more in the air. Sure. I think we have to just trade with these and hope we can find something off the top. Power 4 or greater. This is an enchantment, so we can exile that. We could also exile this, but that doesn't really do anything. So I guess we just have to exile the Moth here. But we are on the back foot. So we could get rid of this, but this does literally nothing on this board. Artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. Okay. That is a target we can kill with Beside You at the very least. And that makes sense. They now get to pump this. So no blocks. Nope. Alright, 1/3 Death Touch, and still not technically dead. We can arrest this. That way, it's a less chance of it dying. Oh, do they have destroy target enchantment? Yeah, alright. Got the L there. We're close. Couldn't quite get over the hump. Alright, we're on to play this time, and we have 0 creatures in hand, do combat tricks, and return things. This hand does stone cold nothing. I don't think we can keep it, as much as I don't like it. This one's almost worse. So we'll do this. I guess we could put back Regent's Authority? Yeah. That was a horrible mistake. Did I not grab Regent's Authority, throw it back, and did it put... Oh, man. Alright, well, I really hope this isn't what this draft comes down to. I thought I grabbed Regent's Authority, did I not? Okay. Alright, so I don't think we need to do this because it just gets us a plains. Ha, got it back. What you gonna do about that? So... we can eat it with this. I mean, sure. Not really much more things to do here. Alright, so we get to scry 2. Definitely can't keep that. Dragonfly suit? I don't think that's good enough either. I mean, we just kind of need lands. Yeah, we're playing T-ball when our opponents are playing professional baseball, so... I think we just have to play... We can ninjutsu this in, I guess. So there's that. And then we can replay the Moth Rider Patrol. Put it on there, and then replay this. So they'll attack, and then they get to replay their Automated Artificer. We get a 2/2 first strike out of the deal here. No blocks. Oni Cult Anvil. It's a good one. An Automated Artificer. Okay. We'll play that land here, and then we'll go to combat. We might get another hit in with Coiling Stalker. No, they won't let us. Then we can play Samurai here. Yuck. Not only does that get rid of our only blocker for it, it also keeps it out of reach of the Coiling Stalker with Master's Rebuke, so that's not great. And they could just keep doing this over and over again. Just keep replaying this every time this attacks, and we don't have good blocks on it. So... let's see what's on top of our deck here. Good thing we got rid of those. Are we gonna block? Is the problem? So if we attack, they're just gonna chump it again. Good thing is that it kind of eats 2 of their mana next turn, if they planned on using it, because I don't think we're gonna block this. So we can attack with all. They're going to chump here and take 3. Then we're going to take 4 on the backswing. And then maybe we can find something. Or they'll just bounce it. Okay. We do get a counter out of the deal this way. Probably want to put it on the flyer. I know this is a first striker, but would like to put it on the flyer there. Now let's see what they do here. They have access to a lot of mana. That can't be good. It has haste, so whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then it deals X damage, where X is the number of modified creatures you control, to me. So do we want to Thundering Rebuke that right now, before attacks? Probably so. And if they blow this out, then I think we might be out of luck this game. And draft. Alright, well at least that died. Okay, gain 2 life. Can't attack. We can attack with patrol, which I think we will. Okay, they'll take 2. We'll get another 2/2 first strike next turn. They'll ping us and gain a life, and then they'll attack with Heiko and be able to replay it. Alright, we have to sacrifice a creature. Guess we get rid of Coiling Stalker so we can have two first strikers next turn. We get to replay it again. Yeah. So I know we're going to have to sacrifice a creature if we don't play this, but right now we're going to have 3 enchantments on the battlefield, which could give this +3/+3, and the next turn it'll give it +2/+2. I know we have to take it again. We're going to have to get rid of one of these, basically. What's our path to victory here? Probably through the Moth Rider Patrol. I mean, I know they're going to be draining us and all that kind of stuff, but gosh. We could just leave these back, threaten this block, and use a tapper. And we have to discard this, though. As much as I don't like discarding this, I think we might have to just hold everything back here. So we'll pass the turn. They're just going to keep using Automated Artificer to ping us. We'll resolve that and choose to discard a card. Don't think we really need to let them even try to attack into these. They have a 3/3 that they can tap to sack an artifact, return target artifact card with mana value X or less, and then they'll kill our Moth Rider Patrol. Okay. We'll do nothing. Alright, so the fact that they're attacking with that is not good news for us, because if they have a combat trick or a way to remove one of these, I think the game's over. But, yeah. Yeah, so there's the combat trick. So we just, I think our game was just kind of too small ball here. We were just playing with 2/2s and 1/1s when our opponents weren't. You know, I don't think this deck was worthy of 1 and 3, but I don't really think it was that bad. So give me that lifelinker. This has menace. This has menace. This is going to be a 1, 2, 3 powered creature. Yeah, I mean, there's really no way we get out of this anyway, so. So what if we blocked here? We're at 10. We're at 10. We take exactly 10, so we have to block here. Sure. And we will top deck the last card that will just let us go ahead and end this draft at 1 and 3. Well, couldn't start off quite as hot as yesterday. I don't think the deck was worthy of a 1 and 3, but definitely wasn't necessarily a trophy deck. So, it is what it is. Lots more drafts to come. Still early in the format. Hopefully we can get out of green-white going forward here. But don't forget to stick around to the end of the video to toggle through our Neon Dynasty trophy playlist, or to find yesterday's video in case you missed it. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow for your daily draft.